Hello, Roger Martin here from Billings, Montana. I want to give you an idea and a vision of what I have in the priesthood and the glory and power that it is connected with Zion. I'm going to edit what is talked about here with Brother Monson and add my own vision and understanding to it. Far exceeds what's in this video. So listen up and catch a vision of the power and glory of Zion and the power and glory of members working with not only the priesthood, but with non-members, but with education within communities, uh, beyond everything that you currently understand, from before a couple gets married, their dating practices, to their marriage, temple, to their children and blessing them, to their education, to helping in the home, to serving in the home, to helping those parents raise and teach those children to grow up in righteousness, and helping parents do the best as not as parents, but as father and mother, as income earners, as examples for their children, as they prepare for young adults and teenagers and marriage themselves and repeat this cycle, and are involved from everything from before birth to marriage to birth to raising children to helping with education, helping with careers, helping with money and finances, helping with home, in every aspect of their life. Um, Offering services for education, career, employment, uh, budgeting, finances, uh, helping develop the full and complete being, uh, way beyond what is currently being done with the corporation and church and with its memberships. I hope to give you some insight and catch some small glimpse of this as we go through and look at some of these things talked about in this video. Here goes.
The gift of the priesthood is priceless. It carries with it the authority to act as God's servants.
Now we're talking more about just being ordained. We're talking about catching a complete vision of who we are. Obviously, this is a young man. He's going to be ordained to a deacon or teaching position in the church. But his mother was very proud of him, very excited about this. These older men are going to ordain him, lay hands upon his head, ordain him, and call him to that office and calling. But this is just a small a part of his spirituality and growth. It's just a part. Much more goes into preparing these young men, but much more needs to go into the senior high priests and other men to catch a vision of what I believe the Lord is trying to get us to understand about the church. They're trying to prepare spiritually, temporally, in education, in careers, in finances, in communities, in groups. This is just beginning. It's still in its infancy.
There is nothing else to compare with it in all this world.
Now, passing the sacrament's a great start. It's a sacred covenant and a sacred ordinance, and that's great. And that helps them understand some simple responsibilities. But to go into the homes of members and see that they're and working with them, helping them, encouraging them to obey the gospel, live the gospel fully and completely, and become the very best being and member in the church that can, from tithes to offerings to obedience to participation to in the church, in the community, outside the community, in the nation, and in the world collectively. It's incredible. And we've just begun. It's still so much in its infancy, even after 150 years. It's still in its infancy and in its scope and its power. We're just beginning to understand the scope and power of godliness and our divine nature and what the church could play in this perfecting of the saints. More than loving, more than serving, Let's go on here. I know we don't have all day. More than reading the scriptures, more than prayer, more than study, more than preparing for a mission, more than preparing to go into the temple, more than being ordained an elder and getting ready to go to the mission field at 18 and 19 years old. More than that, more than sharing the gospel. This is just a small part of this. More than getting ready to go to the temple, more than getting off a mission and serving a mission, more than teaching members and sharing the gospel. This is just a small part of what's possible. Catch a vision of the church and corporation helping people stay out of debt, helping people budget and invest, helping people with their careers, helping people with their education, helping people with their relationships, helping educate people, helping people perfect themselves in their gifts and abilities from little children in primary clear on through adulthood, and helping them perfect and use those gifts to build the kingdom back in both financially, spiritually, and leadership wise. We haven't even touched the leadership potentials and the endless gifts potentials that are there. More than just missionary work, more than just going on a mission. This involves so much more than just baptizing someone and doing ordinances, both from baptism to the temple. Much, much more. This is just a small part, an essential part for their perfection and exaltation, but just a small part. Helping families with their challenges, their medical, their emotional, their spiritual needs, their temporal needs, their education and career and financial needs. More than just going to temple and getting their endowments, more than just blessing children and babies, more than just working in Relief Society and helping the sisters perfect all their gifts and talents and sharing those talents with the priesthood and helping the priesthood perfect their responsibility for leadership and stewardship and working together in unity and harmony. More than just baptisms and endowments and ordinances in the temple. More than being with the elderly and helping them in their jobs and their older years and their retirement. More than caring for the needy and the lonely and the widows. This is just such an infinite part. This is just a beginning of baby steps. Helping the lonely and the needy, whether they're a widow or a widower. Helping with the sick and the ill, and helping with the corporation, helping people stay out of debt, helping people use their resources, use their talents. So much more. More than just faith in Jesus Christ, more than just going back and ordaining this young man and helping him through all things and helping him stay active. I can't say in even 100th part of all the things and possibilities that are here. Think for a moment. If the church gets fully into careers and education, fully help people stay out of drugs and addictions, fully help them budget and fully help them get into business and use their gifts and talents completely and fully help them with marriage and counseling, help them with careers, help them with education, help them with counseling, help them with leadership, help them in their callings. And the church would be a hub out of this. The corporation would be a hub out of this. And it's not just the hub and not just the organization, but it's the unity, the oneness, the gifts and power of God, the perfection of the saints, to working together. Imagine this in the communities, in the schools, in the other organizations, in the government. We are just beginning in our infancy, our small baby-like steps to prepare for the leadership and rule and reign of Jesus Christ. Catch a glimpse of this. The full power and establishment of Zion has yet to come. The center stake hasn't been established. The 144,000 haven't come and done their work. The resurrected people who haven't been caught up during the second coming and rule and reign with Christ, all the faithful saints, all the translated beings, all the resurrected beings, all the angels that are going to work with us during the 1,000 years of peace and harmony. Just imagine what is possible with Christ as a ruler and getting rid of a lot of the corrupt governments and policies and foolishness, taxations and abuse of corporations. Imagine for a second a corporation taking this love and this power and this leadership with Christ and using their profits and skills to not only help and build people, but help people rise up to their greatest potential. Imagine corporations all over the world doing that and bringing the best out of their people and using those talents to help build the church, help build Zion, help build and establish and help Jesus Christ and the church do ordinances, do other things, as well as perfect the saints. Are you getting a little bit of understanding of this? Corporations, illegally, otherwise, can do great, great things. If you take away the greed and have that money put back in the base, in the people, in education, in the careers, in solving problems, in housing, in medical, in transportation, in vacations, and bringing out the full potential in employment, not just a limited money making potential and greedy potential that currently is, way beyond just a number and a name, but we're looking at the full development and perfection of the individual. Imagine hundreds of corporations doing that and getting on that vision and that understanding and helping people perfect themselves for 1,000 years. Are you just beginning to see the enormous human potential that lies ahead of us if we can catch that vision and establish the oneness and the peace and the unity and harmony and principles that are with Jesus Christ and the establishment of Zion and the millennial 1,000 years that await us with Christ in the leadership and with priesthood and with relief society and with members and non-members. We have just begun. This is still a baby and infinite potential, but it's a baby in beginning. We haven't even reached our full maturity and development yet, and probably won't for hundreds of years. And we just are beginning to see the power and potential here to be unleashed on individuals worldwide through the church and through Christ and through his power, through his atonement. We're just beginning to understand and use them. Just beginning. I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. I hope you can catch a small vision of what's possible with the priesthood, with the church, with the corporation, with getting into all the affairs of people from infancy to death and helping them bring out the best in them through this period. And even after they are changed in the twinkling of an eye, they will go on and do things. This will just grow and grow and grow until everything needs to be done that has to be done to perfect this world and its people for 1,000 years. Catch a vision of what is only just beginning in the church and in Zion and in the world. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.